So we're all done with our first rinse here, or our first filtering stage, I should say. We're going to go ahead and get this stuff into the back end of the bucket. We're going to do a second wash. I like to call it a second rinse on there. We're going to add 2 more quarts of alcohol to this bucket, and we're going to mix it up for just about a minute, just to kind of give it a quick rinse and get the stuff that's stuck in the material out. And then that material is going to be garbage. We've extracted all that we want out of it, and that'll be it. There's still a little bit more to be had there. If it was all we had in the world, we would keep going and even do a second wash and a second cook with another whole process. But that's just simply not the case. And this is the 90% of everything that we want that we'll be pulling out of this here. So, there's a lot of processes that involve a large soak time, things of this nature. People even cook the material in the solvent. Those processes are inferior. They're making a less quality oil. They're getting way more plant wax and chlorophyll, a lot less cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids, and the things that we want. So here we're just going to do a quick rinse on it. We did a 5-minute first wash, a 1-minute second rinse, and that's it. If I was entering a contest or trying to make the best oil I possibly could, I'd probably be doing a 2-minute wash, or even less. So while there's a lot of debate and a lot of opinions out there, there's not a lot of oil makers that have made as many batches of oil as I have, and there's even less that have ran those batches of oil to the lab and done comparison testing. I've done this comparison testing with Everclear versus isopropyl alcohol. I learned several times over and over again that you get 25% more quantity and 10% more quality with isopropyl alcohol versus Everclear. And everybody that wants to argue about it has never ran that test and never sent it to the lab. So exactly how much of an argument do we have? Another myth that I'd like to dispel while we're at it is bud versus trim. I've taken several different plants and batches, separated the bud from the close trim, made oil out of it, and what we found was that we get a higher quality with our trim and a better return. Is not what we expected to learn. It's not what we expected to see when we got our lab reports back. So we ran the test again and found it same to be true. We believe the reason for that has to do with the surface area of trichomes that are exposed. And while you can grind up buds to expose those trichomes, what you've done is you've damaged them in the process. So, while it might be true in some cases with some material, with my material, which is a premium material, we're very good at what we do. We grow very high quality indoor marijuana, and our trim is fire. So most of our oil is made from our trim and our very bottom buds. And the reason for that is because we don't get as high of a quality or as high of a return out of our buds. And we can kind of match the quality very, very close, but the quantity is always less. And that just has to do with the surface area of the material. So we'll be back.